Hey guys, Guillermo with NuCanoe here. I just finished rigging my 2024 Pursuit. So I've had a few of you reach out asking how I go about rigging my Pursuit. I rigged this boat very similar to the way I had my previous one rigged. And I figured I would just go ahead and break it down top to bottom for you guys. My particular boat, for my electronics, I try to keep everything for my electronics in the front of the boat. I keep my battery inside the front hatch, my Garmin battery and my LiveScope battery. My LiveScope module actually sits underneath kind of where this tackle tray is inside the hatch. So I have my Garmin, I run a 106 SV, and I have that rigged on top of a track that sits on top of the tackle tray. And then in addition to that, on top of the tackle tray, I have a ruler, and that's like my quick measure ruler. If I'm just trying to, for example, if I'm practicing for a tournament, I'm just trying to get an idea of how big the fish I'm catching are, I can quickly throw that on that ruler, and it only goes up to 19 inches. But I mean, if I'm catching a lot of fish over 19 inches, I know I'm doing pretty good. So I have that. It makes culling and so many things really easy for me. As far as like my through hole connectors, I'm using the new 4-screw Yak Attack ones. I love those. I feel like I get a really good watertight fit. They're definitely, for me, an improvement over the ones that are screwed in with 2 screws. So if you haven't checked those out, those are new from Yak Attack, and they work extremely well. I've been really impressed with them so far. And then my transducer is mounted on the Yak Attack switchblade. So moving down the boat, you know, this isn't so much something that I rigged myself, but this is a feature that I absolutely love about the Pursuit. The Pursuit comes with these rod holders in here that go inside of the boat. Under a typical tournament load, I can put 3 casting rods on one side and 2 casting rods on the other. And that's 5 rods that are just completely and totally out of the way, which for me is huge. Now, my seat, I have it only slightly modified. As you can see, I have a kayak cushion on here and a tackle webs in the back. I keep a little bag back here that I put behind the tackle webs where I put usually trash items. But I actually slightly modified the seat, and NuCanoe sells spacers so you can lift the seat. I thought initially the seat without the spacers was just a little bit low. But I don't like my seat too high either, so I added just 1 spacer just to make the seat a little bit higher. Let's talk about propulsion. One of my absolute favorite features that is included in all NuCanoes is the availability of the EPS system. That gives me the ability to move my motor from boat to boat very quickly, very efficiently. Makes it really easy for me when I'm switching between different bodies of water or between hunting and fishing season. I'm running the NK 180 Pro. I actually have ran the NK 300 as well, and the NK 300 is an amazing motor, and it absolutely cooks on this boat. But honestly, it's almost a little bit too much, which is why I opt for the NK 180 Pro. I can still go 5.7 miles an hour with the 180 Pro, and that is plenty fast for me, and most of the time I don't even go that fast. A lot of you guys have asked, why is there a PVC pipe in your boat? And the reason is simple. With the EPS system, it has a lever right back here, and I can simply throw the PVC pipe on that lever, and I can steer this boat while I'm standing, and that is huge for me. I can't tell you how huge that is for me, because I can go down a bank standing up and work that bank like if I had a bow mount, but I'm using a rear mount. So it's a huge feature for me. It's also a huge feature when I'm sight fishing. I can just kind of cover a lot of ground, mark beds, whatever it may be. So on the tank well, you'll notice that the 13x16 Yak Attack Black Pack Pro fits beautifully. I've had people ask if I would run a 16x16. Honestly, if I had a 16x16, I would fill it up with junk that I probably don't need. The 13x16 helps me bring just what I need. That keeps the weight of my boat down and helps my boat perform a lot better. Now you'll notice on the sides, the Pursuit comes with tracks on each side of the tank well. I added some additional tracks so that I could run these Yak Attack rod holders, and that essentially just gives me the ability to put a few more rods laying low further back. That's really important to me if I'm going under trees or docks or whatever it may be. I personally don't like to run rods high if I don't have to. Every now and then on the Blackpack Pro, I have a little bungee cord so that I can bungee some rods down so that I can have them down and not up. Right now I've got them up, but there's no danger here where, you know, I'm gonna be hitting them on stuff. Now with the seat, I tend to run the seat a little bit further forward than most of the people that I see run Pursuits. The reason that I do that is I like to make sure that the boat's kind of center of gravity is fully balanced, and I feel like my boat performs the best with my seat just a little further forward. And in addition to that, that gives me the ability to put my motor battery and a small cooler still in front of my Blackpack Pro. But yeah, that's just a really simple synopsis of how I run my Pursuit. The Pursuit is bar none my favorite boat that NuCanoe makes. As far as a performance boat, I think it's really hard to beat with a rear mounted motor. I can get around the lake, it's extremely efficient. I feel like the way that I can stow my stuff, it suits my fishing style very well. I know it's not the boat for everyone. The Unlimited's an amazing boat, but this Pursuit is definitely the boat for me.